conspiracy to commit murder.
All right, y'all, you're locked in here to the Midwest Mayhem.
I still always want to show up, and that's just, I have not lost any passion for the job.
Welcome to the Midwest Mayhem podcast with your host Tyler and Lockie. This is where small town stories, wild headlines, and real conversations come together. We also shine a light on first responders, veterans, and on mental health. Because every voice deserves to be heard. This is the Midwest Mayhem podcast.
I've been an open book about mental health.
From a federal prison.
Fake leader hiding behind the title.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Midwest Mayhem podcast. This is our Halloween episode and our Halloween special. Lockie, I think the weather is just right for this episode. How about you?
Yeah, it does. And this will be the whole week that I will be scared to go out to my car once it gets dark, thinking that all the little ghosts and goblins and whatnot is out in the neighborhood. So I will be extra fast from the front door to the Jeep door.
Well, and to be fair, Lockie, you live in Bismarck, so that's spooky in its own self, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of like Halloween every day.
Yeah, some of the things you see in that town are something else.
Speaking of which,
yeah,
I know it's not Halloween, but we did have, in seriousness this week, some tragic news that came out of Bismarck. We had a pedestrian struck by a train, and if I'm not mistaken, that is the first time that that's happened, which is shocking because a lot of people walk the track there in Bismarck, and it's right there on the main strip there. And unfortunately, that person did lose his life in that situation, and it kind of shut down the town for a little bit. So it's something that was everybody was talking about and had their own theories on it too.
Imagine that. First place I seen it was Facebook. Yes, I did hear about that. I did want to talk about that. I'm glad you reminded me. Very tragic. That's the first time I've ever heard of it happening. Like you said, right there in Bismarck. There's 3 crossings right there in town.
Well, I know there's the one out off Grider Road.
Yeah.
Then the main one there on 32 by the old depot.
Yeah.
And then there's one out there. It's like it's Cedar. You turn off a Cedar onto John, or it's not John Emling. I can't remember what road that is there, but there's not any arms on that one at all.
Yeah, there's one going like if you're going towards U Highway and BB, I think it is.
Yeah.
There's that crossing there.
Yeah.
Flew over that a couple times going to fire calls, but I was definitely doing the speed limit if anybody asked.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's very, very tragic. Matter of fact, I shared that story on our podcast on the Facebook page, and our prayers go out to their family and whoever that may have been. Very sorry for your loss if you're listening. But yeah, very, very tragic.
Well, and that kind of goes back to what our theme always is. There's a lot of people that are affected by it. You know, you have the first responders, you have the UP guy, I guess that's who it would have been.
Yeah.
The locomotive driver, and I know my son was extremely anxious to get there and find out because he knows a few of our locals that walk the track often. And he said, walked up and he said, Mom, I just had to make sure everybody was accounted for that I knew could potentially be doing that. So definitely a tragedy. And like you said, prayers to all involved.
Yeah, definitely. That's always a small town fear for like for me, I lived in Irondale, so anytime we get a call inside of town, it's like, man, who is it? Do I know him?
Right.
Is it going to be some kind of tragic thing I don't want to see? So that's something you always worry about, but I definitely understand where Brad's coming from. However, to get us out of the set of that, I think we're going to take a little bit of a back road down some of these spooky back roads here in I think we're going to hit Washington County, San Francisco County, and a little bit of Jefferson County, and then the great county of Iron, which is spooky in itself. Some of the towns there give me the heebie-jeebies. It's just something weird. So I think we're going to take Lockie's Jeep because she loves Jeep riding so much and hit a couple of these places. We're going to hit a couple hospitals. We're going to hit a creepy diner, and definitely some places you probably don't want to be after dark.
Right.
How's that sound?
And I'm sure along the way, I'll be able to remember a few things, too, that are creepy.
Yeah, well,
And I don't mean Walmart. That's not what I'm talking about.
I don't know. You see some freaks in Walmart. Before we jump into this, though, I do have one more thing I want to talk about, and I sent it to you last night on Messenger.
Yes.
So I'm scrolling Facebook last night, and I get Facebook Marketplace ads quite a bit, and I seen something that I've never seen before, and I would prefer never to see again.
Oh.
It was a lady selling a mirror, and
I think there were actually 2 mirrors, but I don't know if that was a play off of what was in the mirror.
I don't know if that picture was meant to be there or not. Maybe it was just a funny one, but I just find it really weird. So I'm scrolling Facebook, and I see this, and it's like Lockie said, this lady has 2 mirrors for sale. And I didn't notice that because I was so busy looking at the first picture, which is the first mirror. And this guy has his ass hanging out in the mirror in the picture.
And it's not just a little bit of ass. It's all ass.
Yeah, it's his whole ass. I'll be sure to post it on our Facebook page for everybody to take a good laugh at. And I've never seen that before. And like you said, can they legally get in trouble for that, or how does that work?
No, and I mean, I made sure that I sent it to a few people, so it's definitely out there to.
I knew it'd be coming down very quick, so I made sure I took about 3 screenshots of it just to make sure I had it. So I hope everybody gets a good laugh out of that. And if you know the person, I tell you what, tell them to call into our podcast because I would love to talk to them and see what was going on there. That made me laugh, and I almost pissed my pants. It was hilarious.
Well, and you said it, and I was just like. I think my exact things were, what the hell?
Yeah, that was.
I was thinking, is this that AI stuff can generate
it
stuff?
Wasn't AI.
Was she trying to get him back for something? But no, it was. I am still laughing about it.
It was great. I loved it. I love every bit of it. So if you know who I'm talking about, you know who posted it, make sure you give them our phone number or tell them to message our podcast page, and make sure they give us a call because I would love to talk to those characters. That is something that you don't see every day. However, we're going to get back to our Halloween special here. That ass was enough to spook me for a little while, but let's talk about some... our first stop is going to be the Long Banta House in Potosi. Lockie, do you know where that's at?
I don't. I mean, I've heard of it, but I guess I don't know for sure where that is.
So the Long Banta House, do you know where Mutant Moore's funeral home is?
Yes.
So if you go up the street, the car wash is across the street there from Moore's.
Yeah.
It's that old greenhouse that sits kind of like within the willow trees right there.
Okay.
It's like tan and green, I think it was last time I saw it. It's kind of hidden back behind there. But Ghost Adventurers or the Ghost People on TV, they actually done a paranormal episode there.
That's interesting. That's Sydney's absolute favorite TV show.
Yeah, Sydney, whatever it is, you can correct me later, I'm sure. But Ghost Adventures or what? Ghost Hunters, whatever they're called, they did do an episode there, and the house was built in 1865 by the Long family. It was later owned by the Bantas. That's why it's called the Long Banta House. It's known for shadow figures in the windows, which my uncle, he was a little bit of drunk, so this may have been just him, but I've also heard this from other people. And John Moore himself, who lives in the top of the funeral home there, has said he's seen lights and weird stuff go on there. But it's also John Moore. We love you, John. You do great things for the community. But I've heard different things about this. But it's people have seen people in the windows, shadows, creepy figures. They've heard footsteps when they went in the house, and a piano that plays itself.
That is creepy. Which they say that the paranormal stuff usually comes through electrical things.
Oh,
telephones.
Here we are sitting with a bunch of electrical things around us. We're going to get shocked or...
Well, our house in Bonne Terre on Middle Street, I know that it was haunted, but it was a comfortable haunting. And I can remember like Sydney would look into the dining room area and she would smile or different things, but there was nothing there. And that light in the dining room would go off and on. It was really weird the phone would ring and it wouldn't be anybody there. And more than once I heard footsteps. Because it had a big loft, the full length of the house, and I could hear footsteps. And she raised like 4 or 5 boys in this house, and one of them was tragically killed in a motor vehicle accident. And I always swore that it was one of the boys. But the house we lived in, there were 2 families, ours and the Marlar family that lived there. No one ever told me until way after the fact she actually died in the home.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if it was Mrs. Marlar. Like I said, it was always a very comforting, and things would start in and I would just say, okay, I know you're here. Pass on through. We'll do whatever you need to do. We're not scared, whatever. But I don't know. I believe in this kind of stuff.
I do. So do I. I'm a very heavy believer.
Yes.
My parents built their house back in 2014 out in Camp Irondale. If you've ever been through the camp, which you came to my house for the first episode you did with me, and that's camp. It's very creepy, very old. Bunch of different people have been through there when the Boy Scouts were there, but there's a lot of history in that camp. And when they built their house, brand new home, nobody's ever lived there. About, I don't know, 3-4 months after they lived there, us kids weren't home. We were with our dad for the weekend. It was just my mom and my stepdad there, and they were going downstairs because their basement was in the bedroom, and they were like,
their bedroom was in the basement.
Yeah, I'm backwards today, Lockie. Thank you for catching that. If it's not saying Valor wrong, I'm doing something else wrong. Lockie's my guidance here today, which is kind of scary.
If I don't laugh about stuff, I'm going to be scared and or cry.
Please don't cry. We cry every other time we do an episode. Anyways, they were going downstairs to their bedroom in the basement. Let's get that correct there. And they were going down the steps, and my mom heard, hey, like real soft, which is creepy enough.
Yes.
She thought it was my stepdad. Turned around. He didn't say a word. And she's like, I got chills and goosebumps, and I just felt like chills running down my spine.
It gives me chills just you telling the story.
Oh, it's great.
Because I'm not kidding. This whole week, and now that the weather is like changing, and of course it gets dark at 5:15, 5:30, I literally will run from my front door to the Jeep thinking that there's gremlins or whatever. And I don't know, this is just like, I love Michael Myers, which I didn't even start watching creepy stuff, which Michael Myers really isn't that creepy until I was 40s, because I was scared to death of it.
Oh, I don't do scary movies.
And that's all I can think about. The rainy, I don't know, it creeps me out big time.
You know what creeps me out? The fact that I now live in a lake development, and Jason Voorhees comes out of a lake.
Yes.
And if you sit right here where I'm sitting in this makeshift studio of mine, and you look right out the window I'm looking at, I can see the lake. Yes. So I'm going to be sitting here one night trying to write a script, and I have a feeling I'm going to probably shit my pants because I think I saw something that I probably didn't see.
I will not record after dark out here, or you're going to have to walk out with me. You and Maria on both sides have to walk out with me.
We'll send Maggie and Diesel with you.
Well, and I know we kind of ventured out off the Long Banta House, but according to the legend, you said that several family members died in that home.
Yeah.
That's kind of, for those of you that know, Tyler and I, we kind of venture on our own little, but that's why, and then apparently they're still there, which I don't know. What do you think? Why, if you could haunt somebody, would you do that?
Oh, for sure.
But would you, sometimes I would just completely do things just to taunt them.
Oh, me too.
And then other times I just want to be like, know that they're sitting there picking their nose, and always would act like they didn't. But guess what? I caught you as a ghost picking your nose.
And you can't see me, huh? It's like that. You always want to be that fly on the wall, and now you're the ghost in the room.
Well, so do you have a place that you would for sure hang out as a spirit?
I don't know that you can actually ask me that. I don't know if I can give you the answer I want to give you, but yes, I have a place in.
Oh, I know where it is. I'm just making sure that's what it was.
I have a place in mind. Actually, I have two places. Two places in mind that one of my favorite people in this whole wide world visits quite a bit.
Yep.
And I'm not legally going to say it on here to keep from legal reasons, but yes, I
know.
have.
That's why I wanted you to confirm that. I know exactly where it is.
Let's just say it's going to relate to some things that I used to do in my prior life. How about that? Can't sue me now.
Well, and we always, because Ashton has kind of been my theme in everything I do with you on this podcast, but everything that goes wrong at the ambulance district, it's Ashton's fault. And I do think sometimes he is out there in the,
oh, for sure,
fucking with the monitors or whatever. I really, truly do. And so, but, I have a few places I would love to.
Oh, I for sure. I've got things already set in my mind when I die. Although that person will probably be gone long before I am. Maybe. We'll see. But if not, I guarantee you I will be paying them a visit for sure.
Yes.
I will wander my way to that specific place, and I will hang out there.
And I think what I'll do, too, is I want to hide stuff from people.
Yeah, their car keys.
Yes. Yes, that would be
fun. No, you're going to be late for work today. Not today. Good luck with that. But yes, to answer your question, I do have a place in mind. I just can't legally say it here.
Cool.
I'll tell you after this. So how about that? We'll laugh about it after that. I mean, we're not on recording. But yes, the Long Banta House, it's just creepy looking. If you go Potosi at night this time of year, the trees lose all their leaves.
Yes.
The street lights are like that old orange glow in like that upper half of town, or it used to be. I don't know if it still is, but it just looks weird.
Well, so I know which house you're talking about. Is it occupied? Do people live there now, or is it kind of more of a historical?
It's a historical.
Okay.
It's as far as I know, it's a historical piece of Potosi.
Okay.
Which they also say the graveyard that Austin Moses, for those of you who don't know who Austin, is it Austin
Yes.
Moses? Is that right? They have a big festival for him every year. He is the founder of Potosi. And he came to Potosi in later life, and he founded Potosi, and I believe he died here.
If I remember
He was
right.
from Texas.
Uh-huh.
He's from Austin, Texas, as a matter of fact. But he died here in Potosi, I believe, and he is buried in Potosi. And back in like I want to say the late 1800s, people from Texas thought he like belonged in Texas, so they come to Potosi and tried to dig him up
Oh my gosh, I
and
didn't
take him
know
to
that.
Potosi. Yeah, it like late at night.
Uh-huh.
It's in a book. I had an old historical book somewhere. I'll have to pull it out and find it. But and it tells about how the people from Texas came to dig him up and take him back home, and they ended up having to put a concrete cap over his grave because they were trying to dig him up, and like they were almost successful.
That is insane.
Anyways, the reason I tell that story is because they say that graveyard right there as you drive down the main, like you're going towards Midwest Press. There's a little graveyard up there to the right. There used to be a Rotary sign right there in front of it. There's a little church, kind of sits up around that hill.
Yep.
And there's a little fence. It's a little square, and that's his grave. And I've heard people like night shift people, for example, have gone through and they've seen people up there wandering with candles and stuff, and they would stop and it'd disappear.
No, and I believe in all that stuff. I'll sometimes catch stuff out of my peripheral vision or whatever, and they say that that's whatever. Of course, I also have astigmatism, and at night it's scary to think I drive, but still, I mean, I just think that we are that powerful potentially.
For
too.
sure.
And why not? I mean, he had quite a history.
For sure.
And I would be mad too, knowing that they named an inn after me, and what went on in the inn is kind of skanky too, but
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Awesome inn.
Yeah. Can you imagine some of the things that went on in that place?
No.
That place is probably haunted.
Yes.
Is it even still standing? Is it the old Potosi Motel? Is that what that
Yeah.
is? Right there in town, that little old...
I think it's like up from Casey's there on.
Yeah.
Is that Missouri? No,
is-
that's not North Missouri. Or is that North Missouri?
I think that's North Missouri Street. I don't know.
I know. I just put it in GPS to go pick up my people, and that's all I do.
People in Potosi, this was one of your ambulance drivers at one point in time, just so y'all know. GPS is a great thing, just like ChatGPT. Anywho.
Yes.
Long Banta House, really neat. If you ever go through Potosi, if you're from Potosi, go check it out. I think they give tours of it. I think.
I don't know. I think that
this
would
time
be
of
a
year they
fun
do
thing to do.
They used to do tours of it during this time of year, if I remember correctly.
Well, and they open it up, I know, during the Moses Austin.
Do they?
Because I think they do concerts and stuff in that area.
It's got a little gazebo outside
Yes.
of it. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think they put bands right there. But, yeah, it's a big part of Potosi. It is historical. Nobody lives there. But there have been, and during the paranormal episode that they did there, they got, they use this electric meter thing, and they picked up signals of just paranormal wording. And it's like, I got goosebumps just talking about this. And we haven't even made it to the scary stuff yet.
No.
Okay, so our next stop will be Lockie's hometown.
Yes.
Good old Bonne Terre,
Yep.
as I like to call it. It's Bonne Terre, Missouri. I'll let you talk about this one. How about that?
Well, and I have several with the Bonne Terre, not just we refer to it as Mansion on the Hill, but then also the depot and the old City Hall. And the old City Hall is on, I believe that is, I want to say it's either Benham or Allen Street, and I'm leaning more towards Benham Street. But Mansion on the Hill, I don't know a whole lot mainly because I can't remember. I sometimes just have blocked stuff out. But it was the mansion, as everybody knows, that's a mining town. And the whole, those streets in that area, Church Street, Main Street, that's where the big wigs of the mining company of St. Joe Lead lived. So there's a lot of different, stories there, the house there by the library, different places like that. So there's a lot of ghost history. But the mansion, it was in the late 1800s. It was a restaurant. It was a place to stay, for lack of a better term, like a bed and breakfast motel-ish kind of thing. It is closed. I will say this, and I don't mind because I am a salty Bonne Terre resident and was there a lot longer. The current people that own it, I'm assuming current unless it has changed, really, they would not let anybody in there.
Really?
And rumor always had it they were doing things they shouldn't have been doing up there anyway. He also owned the mine and then the mines and then the old depot. And the depot they had completely remodeled. And unless you were somebody, I mean, you couldn't even take prom pictures outside on the locomotive that they had or whatever piece of train equipment out there. But, you know, people have heard that reported of footsteps, cold spots, and I know for sure the cold spot story. I've been on the premises with other people. We were doing, it was like a dinner thing, and people were creeped out by it. The bleeding walls, and of course all the typical shadow stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
But the cemetery up there is also a spot that they say is haunted.
Really?
But my mom, when she was teaching at North County, she was the sponsor of the National Honor Society. And they always would do a haunted house. And there were different places that they would do it. And one of them was at the old depot. And then they would do, and I say the old city hall. It's like the rehabilitation place now for Parkland or whatever that you go for, like you ride the bike for cardiovascular stuff like that.
Like physical therapy?
Yeah. And I can remember, you know, they had squatters in different, both of those places, but I can remember going, I would never go upstairs once they got really their hardcore decorations in because I was scared shitless to be up there. Because there was just a vibe. It was cold air. It was damp air. It was just creepy. And I can remember them working that week of Halloween and Mom getting a phone call that the lights were on.
Oh, wow.
And everything. I mean, I can remember, like, I can see in my mind looking up into the windows of this place and it was pitch black. But more than once, she got phone calls that the lights were still on, or somebody would be in there and they would think that somebody was behind them. And so, you know, that was always the places. And I can remember, you know, the old depot, which is down there by the dairy field, there was a lot of weird, creepy stuff that happened there too. And so, you know, is it some of the old miners or some of the old people from St. Joe Lead? Who knows? Because there's that whole area. Our area is full of historical. I mean, when we get into Iron County,
that's why we're called the Lead Belt.
Yes.
You know, when you're a kid, you never think about this, but I had a teacher in school who actually pointed out, "Do you know why it's called Lead Belt?" And I'm like, "No. Why would I? Why would I care about that?" But the more he got into it, he's like, Irondale, Leadwood,
yes,
Iron County, Ironton. Just a bunch of towns named after the amount of lead that is in this area.
Right.
Maybe that's what's wrong with some of these people.
Oh, that's what I always blame all my inconsistencies on. Or if somebody says, "Well, what's wrong with you?" Well, I mean, the chat dump in Bonne Terre. For my gym class, we ran our mile at the base of the chat dump. We were also dodging broken beer bottles and stuff. I mean, we had, you know, we called it the what did we call it? The chat playground? I don't know. We had some name for it too. But that's where we all played. And I mean, of course, there's all kinds of potential medical things, but there were a lot of, Bonne Terre at one time, there were a lot of people coming in and out from different countries because of the mines.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, people would show up, they were there for a while and pass away. And, you know, there's a couple of people buried up at the Bonne Terre at the, by the mansion on the hill cemetery that people didn't even know who they were forever.
Wow.
So, I mean, there's a lot of rich history.
You know, when I think of Bonne Terre, I always think of the mine first because you see signs for the big Bonne Terre mine everywhere. Now, as of right now, I don't know if it's open.
I don't either. And
I think they have it closed they used to do tours and stuff because it flooded.
Yes.
Like they used to do boat tours and stuff. It flooded. It's really deep. A lot of it, they call it the first underground spring. Is that right? Or something like that?
Is it Jacques Cousteau? Is that how, I think that's
Jacques Cousteau?
Jacques Cousteau, whatever.
Something like that.
Apparently he was there, you know, and like I said, I am 50 years old and have brain fog, and then I just block some stuff out as my childhood traumas. But, as a kid, we would walk over. I mean, that was like everybody went to the Bonne Terre Mines. And then it got to when this new guy took it over, it was ridiculous what it would cost to go into the mines.
I heard it was quite a bit.
And, and then we've had, because whatever happens with divers, if they go down too deep and then ascend up too quickly or whatever, there's a medical condition with that. They've had people that have, fire, had to go down, ambulance crews and whatever. My great uncle Earl Faircloth, he used to do the mine tours, and he did that up until well into his 80s.
That'd be a neat job to do.
Yeah, my grandfather, Harold Landault, he actually worked for the mines. And my mom would tell stories about how, it was always a fear to hear a whistle blow, because that meant there was
a miner down.
Trouble underground and stuff like that.
Now I think that role also applied for that one over there off 32 going towards the Park Hills mine.
Probably.
My uncle's dad worked there, and I think that was the same thing. Not to interrupt you, but
well, and I wish I have books, and of course my mom was hardcore into the Bonne Terre history stuff. I mean, she did the Historical Society, the whole 9 yards, and I wish I could remember it. Unfortunately, that's kind of a lost art of finding those things out anymore. But I know that there is a ton of it's really neat history. The place there, it's the Iron Knot now, I think is what it's called.
Oh, the wedding venue?
Yes. And I mean, that church right there had the beautiful wrought iron fence around it. And, and that was part of the miners. Well, not the miners, but the St. Joe bigwigs.
Yeah.
Lived all through there.
Well, that's crazy. I didn't know that. You learn all kinds of things when you talk to Lockie. She knows all kinds of stuff.
Well, and there's a lot of, there are ghost stories big time that come out of Bonne Terre.
I tell you what, maybe here in a minute we'll look up a couple and see what we can't find. How about that? We got time. Let's take a little bit of a deeper drive here. Let's go to another part of your neck of the woods where you used to work, the Great Iron County.
Yes.
Now, if you drive through Iron County, for those of you who have never been there, picture the 1880s, like you're driving through a western town and they just asphalted the roads, and you look to your left and your right and you see all these scary buildings. I don't know how to explain Iron County. It's just a one-horse, like, to me, Iron County is just one big town. Like, if you drive through Arcadia and Ironton and Pilot Knob, you literally, if you don't look at the signs, you don't know you're in a different town.
No, but it is, the people in Iron County are absolutely amazing. And
that's where my Bartons are from.
Yes,
so.
I just love Iron County people, and they were always very welcoming for me as an outsider. But there's a lot of rich history there.
Oh, for sure. So the one place I do want to talk about down there is the old Iron County Hospital. And when I delivered ice for Home City Ice, I used to have to deliver to different places through Arcadia, Pilot Knob, and you have to drive past it. And I never knew what it was until I got to doing some research one day and realized it was the old hospital. That is crazy. That place, for one, it's huge.
Yes.
It's something you literally see in a scary movie. Like, they could take a picture of it and use it for a movie cover.
Yes.
I don't know much about it, but I do know it was built in the 1920s, and it was originally St. Mary's.
I think that's right. Yeah.
From what I've looked up, I do understand that's right. But what the research I've done on it, people have heard voices calling names, doors slamming, cold drifts. So it must be something about the cold, because you said the mansion had cold spots, right?
Yes.
I can't imagine walking through somewhere and it just be like, I get chills just sitting here in this room talking about it.
Well, and either they have sold this recently, they're doing something with it, and I know that was always like the big thing to try to sneak in down there. I never did, because I know that they had a warning out for people that it was very much condemned and was dangerous to go in and try to experience this paranormal. But I do know that there were Dale that worked at Dispatch, that's I can't think of his name right now. He does paranormal stuff from St. John.
Oh, wow.
And I think they went there.
I remember seeing something on Facebook. There was actually a petition to let people go in and look at it, but like you said, it was condemned. Yeah,
and from what I was told, like, the floor was extremely dangerous.
That building, built in the 1920s.
Yeah.
It's 100 years old. And I'm sure it probably wasn't maintenance the way it probably should have been, but it's just very creepy. Look, I as much as I hate creepy stuff, I think it'd be neat to go look at myself.
Right.
Like, old buildings like that fascinate me, and I don't know why.
Well, because it gives that creepy.
If you've ever watched the Wrong Turn movie, I think it's Wrong Turn 5, where they're trapped inside that medical facility.
I've never even heard of that movie.
Wrong Turn? Oh, it's a scary movie series.
Okay, yeah,
It's about a bunch of inbred people, and they're in the hills of Virginia, and they're an inbred family, and like these people, tourists go through there, and they like trap them and kill them, and they eat them, and cannibalism. It's messed up. You have to watch it sometime. But the fifth one, they are locked. These people were doing some snowboarding or something, and they wander upon this old psychiatric place.
Well, and I mean, you have to take that into consideration. These people,
Yeah.
And that's like where their souls, the last place their soul was.
And these people are like legitimately, like psychologically, legally crazy.
Yes.
Like locked in straitjackets. But that's what this place reminds me of. It and they wander in here, and they didn't think anybody was there, so they're drinking and they're partying and they're rolling around on the hospital beds, and they put straitjackets on like they're crazy, and then they realize they're there with somebody else, and it's the patients years before this had broke out and killed all of the people who worked there and took over the hospital.
What is this on? What streaming service?
It might be. I'll have to look it up, but my mom has all the DVDs. That's how I know what it is. But they're older movies. They came out in like the early 2000s. But that's what that place reminds me of. Not to get off subject, but you have to watch it. It's
well,
nuts.
and I mean, just talking about it, like I totally get how, and because there's that smell of old hospital smell. Well, and that back to Bonne Terre Hospital is another one that they say is potentially haunted. And they had, when they were doing the remodeling for the nursing home, the weird stuff that happened up on the third floor.
Now, the old Bonne Terre Hospital, that's St. Joe Manor now, correct?
Yes.
The nursing home?
Yes.
So that place is destined doomed for... My stepdad was born there.
Yes.
He was actually born there when the electric went out. That's a story he loves to tell. But that place for, again, the people who've never been to Bonne Terre, it's a big... What is it, 2-3 stories?
I think it's 3.
It's a big building.
Yes.
It's huge. It's out, if you go towards the Bonne Terre City Park, right? It's out that way.
It's at the pond.
Yeah.
By the Bonne Terre pond.
It's out there by the pond. I'm still new here.
Which is what us Bonne Terre kids would call it Old Deloge Road, but the Deloge kids called it Old Bonne Terre Road, which I think now technically it is Old.
I think it's actually named Old Bonne Terre Road, but it takes you in between Deloge and it takes you right there by New Era Bank in Deloge.
Yes.
Anywho, this place is huge. It's another one that could be used in a paranormal scary movie type deal. But you're right, I've also heard that when they were doing the remodeling, they heard screams.
Yes.
Stuff would fall. There was actually a hole in the roof. Who was it that told me that? Anyway, somebody told me that their uncle or somebody, when they remodeled it, worked there, and there was a hole in the roof, and they thought somebody was throwing stuff. It just turns out there was a hole in the roof, and I guess part of the roof gave out when they were remodeling it, and I thought that was kind of funny.
But I could think that maybe that was where they cut a hole. What do they call that? Where it goes through to send the spirits up through the...
the portal?
A portal, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
But I mean, seriously, think about it though. And I mean, this is weird, but there are times like in the back of the ambulance that we've had a person that goes into cardiac arrest, or like, I will never forget the first time I transported my first deceased person because the funeral home couldn't come and get them.
Oh.
And you're thinking, what if their soul or whatever attaches to me?
Isn't it creepy?
But it is creepy. This seriously gives me goosebumps talking about this stuff. But I mean, it is something that is, all of these places, the time frames of these places that we're talking about, I don't see why it couldn't happen.
Exactly. I mean, when it comes to paranormal, I would pay money to go on a paranormal tour. I'd be too scared to, but I think it'd be really neat.
Well, and I'm always afraid, what if they do attach to you? What if there is something that they feel like, I mean, I kind of freak out about that kind of stuff. And in fact, I had started watching a TV show the other day, and I said, nope, I do not want this on, because that's not what the good Lord, how I was raised to believe. And I thought, nope, it's just too much for me.
Yeah.
But I've always been a huge chicken shit.
Oh, me
But
too.
that goes back to my dad, my uncles, my grandfather. Any opportunity they had to scare the shit out of us kids, they did. Which in turn, I've done that with my children, and my grandchild too. But
poor Winry.
To a certain extent, I don't, because then I get scared. But you know, the Iron County Hospital, like I'm pretty sure that they have, someone has purchased it, and I don't know if they want to do like a museum or historical thing with it. I mean, it should already be a historical thing.
Yeah.
But some of the stories that people have told, I mean, it's scary.
Yeah, it says right here that paranormal team says it's one of the most active in Southeast Missouri.
Well, and you know, you think about the Battle of Pilot Knob that was down there. I mean, there's a lot of...
When did that battle happen? Do you remember? Well, here, let's do some research. How about
don't
that?
you ask me that question. My mother is probably rolling in her grave, knowing that I don't have the exact date on that. But, you know, you have to think about all of these towns, that historical aspect with death and gloom, you know, that's another thing. There's potential they're going to stay there and haunt.
For sure. So it was in 1864, so it was 40, 60 years before that hospital was built. So unfortunately, the Battle of Pilot, unless there was something there before it, we don't know.
Well, I mean, that's just it. There were, you know, the whole area,
Yeah.
So
for sure. So
not just necessarily that, but there were so many things that happened in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what's haunting places?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like the restaurants and like the houses right there behind the battlefield and all that. Could you imagine living there?
No.
You walk outside to go to your car at 4 a.m. to go to work, and it's dark, and you just hear gunshots and battles. And
well, and I know I've heard people tell stories that they have seen, you know, a soldier walking through the field. Now, did they? I don't know. But that is something just like in Bonne Terre. You know, it's who knows the people that could have potentially been at the mansion.
For sure. Let's see. That's Iron County Medical Facility. I don't think we want that. That's not even Iron County, Missouri. Let's see here. I'm trying to find some information on this hospital because now I'm a little bit more intrigued. How about you?
Well, yeah, as long as it doesn't attach to us.
Well, let's hope not.
Well, and one of the things about Bonne Terre, too, that I kind of... Bonne Terre Halloween was always a good time because, and I guess they still do this, but those two streets, the Main Street and Church Street, that just looks creepy.
Doesn't it? Like, it's got the, like, curved brick walls.
Yes.
We're looking at a picture of this
I was going to say, Tyler has pulled up a picture of the old Iron County Hospital.
And it's just, like, the two windows at the top and the big cross in the middle, it just makes it gives you the heebie-jeebies. I got goosebumps right now. Look at this place.
And that is like... I mean, I watched The Shining for the very first time last weekend or weekend before. I still don't really understand that, but I mean, that's what that reminds me of. Or the old, you know, psych wards and whatever. That's what it makes me think of.
Yeah, I just couldn't imagine. Could you imagine working in a psych ward, being there, like working night shift?
No.
Everybody's in bed and you just hear, "Whoa, hey." It's just weird.
Are the cold spots?
Oh man, I'd probably have a stroke.
Well, I would probably have to quit because I would be.
Yeah.
I'm such a chicken. It's embarrassing what a chicken I am, honestly.
And you go out. You used to go out on the ambulance in the middle of the night in Washington County with one other person. That's
in Iron County.
Oh yeah, Iron County. I didn't even think about that.
But back to the trick or treating through Bonne Terre on those two streets, on Church Street and Main Street. I mean, it used to be very elaborate. Yeah. There were people that would come from Farmington to trick or treat those two streets.
That's crazy.
So,
you know, when I was in school, I don't know if you're familiar with the Hartleys or not from West County. John Hartley.
I know the name, yes.
So he was a teacher. He was a history teacher and science teacher at West County. He was my 6th grade history teacher, I think, in science. Great guy, one of my favorite teachers. But he would always do this story, and we're going to get off track here just a little bit, but he would always do this story, and it was, he went to his friend's house, and his friend's dad was a cop, and his family, I'm trying to remember what it is, it's a good one, but his family, he went over to his friend's house, and his friend's family left him there with their dog, and his dad, or the friend's dad, told him, make sure all the doors and stuff are locked. There's a lot of people looking for me. I don't like people coming here. I don't really like people being here without me. Anyways, he's there. They have this old tower, on the backside of their house, and it was for emergencies. They had like supplies and stuff. So he tells this story, and it's this guy that his friend's dad arrested comes to this house while the family's gone, and the guy's dressed like a killer clown.
Oh gosh.
Oh
my
gosh. Oh yeah. He's chasing him, and he makes it up into this tower. If I remember it, again, this has been 10, 15 years ago. He told the story that I remember. But anyways, he was really good. And at the end of it, he would, when he would tell the story, he would turn all the lights out in the classroom. And this was in the old West County Middle School in Leadwood, if you know where that's at.
Oh yeah.
The old brick.
Creepy.
The creepy. Yeah, the old creepy middle school. And his classroom was huge. He would turn the lights out. He'd even close his laptop, so like you couldn't see anything. It was pitch black, and he would walk around and just tap on desk and just tap on.
No, I would be absent that day. I would.
There were kids
conveniently have diarrhea.
There were kids who cried.
I would have. I know I would.
And they used to do a haunted.
Yes.
So he would tell the story at school that day, and they would do a big haunted house in Leadwood.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. So shout out to you, Mr. Hartley, if you're listening. That was a story that about this time every year I always go back and reminisce on. Man, I remember that day, and there was like I think we had to have permission slip signed because he even had an article that our computer teacher at the time, Mrs. Kaufman, drew up, and it had a picture of him. She done Photoshop with it. And it showed him like the killer clown being arrested, and he was in the background, and it was a news article. Like he had us believing.
That is holy. That's great, though.
Oh, he had us believing it was real.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow. And then like you get off school because he doesn't tell you it's not true until at the following Monday. So you're like wandering around like Irondale and Leadwood, like, oh God, he's like, yeah, this guy's still looking for me, and he's still trying to find me, and you're like, man, is he gonna come here and kill all of us, or what the hell? But shout out to you if you're listening. That was a story that was stuck with me. I thought it was really funny.
And it's funny you say that you can remember how far back you were scared.
Yeah,
I can tell you that I have a picture of me. I'm probably about 2 years old in this picture. Now,
is it black and white?
Actually, it's an oil painting.
Oh, boy.
Because I was scared shitless of the photographer because he would use the little puppets to, make the baby smile or whatever. And so my mom took a picture of me that I guess was somewhat decent. And this person did the oil painting of it because I was too scared. To this day, if I'm anywhere and the costumes that like Fred Bird or any of those, I get the most anxious. My heart starts beating. I am scared shitless of stuff like that. They would announce the Easter Bunny in Walmart. I was ready to go.
No, I'm out. See ya.
And so I've always had this fear.
Yeah.
And it goes back to how people would scare me.
Yeah.
And it was mean. It was mean. My dad loved to sneak around the side of the house, and he'd come and he'd beat on the window. And I would scream bloody murder.
Oh, yeah.
Because
well, and that's part of the reason why I don't like scary movies. We'd always watch them with my mom's sister, my aunt, and my cousins, and we'd always do like this big family thing. I was a big chicken shit anyways, like you.
Yes.
And I'd be sitting there, and I'm like I wasn't ever like hide under the blanket type, but I'd be one of those like always on edge. And they'd always catch me right when I wasn't paying attention, and they'd stick their hand on my shoulder. They'd slap something against the wall.
Yes.
One time they went outside and actually beat on the windows so hard that I cried. Yep. It was bad. It was a bad deal. But it was funny. Now that you look back on it, I find it kind of funny, but then I'm like, man, you're kind of ignorant. What's wrong with you?
That's just straight up asshole moves that they would do.
For sure.
Well, and my grandma and grandpa lived on 47, you turn onto Pond Creek Road, and they lived like just right off of Pond Creek Road.
That's a creepy road.
Oh, it is creepy.
Randy's taking that to work right now because 47's down.
Well, and sometimes if I have to go from Potosi to Bonne Terre or whatever, I'll take and it's kind of like it's nostalgia for me as well. But I can remember them telling us that Rawhead Bloody Bones lived up because Grandpa, they had their trailer and kind of up and down in the valley, and then kind of up in a hill was wooded area. And Grandpa if you ask Grandpa Barton for a set of crutches, he had 80 pairs of them. He was a junker and tinker and stuff like that. But that's what they used to tell us at Rawhead Bloody Bones. If we were not behaving, well, Rawhead Bloody Bones sat there when you got to the car. So, I've constantly been scared. That whole road, we would ride the motorcycle from Grandma and Grandpa's down to a church that's since been torn down, and they've put a house there.
Mm-hmm.
That was creepy too. Just that whole road was creepy.
That's insane.
But yeah, I mean,
it's stuff like that just sticks with you. That makes like as soon as October 1st hits, you see the pictures of, like on Facebook where everybody's excited pumpkin spice hits and they got the big pumpkins up to their tits and whatnot. That's me, but I'm thinking of scary shit. Like I don't really care about pumpkin spice, but
and Sydney also loves to tell the story on me because I was a chicken shit, and I literally could make myself sick so I wouldn't have to trick or treat, which I don't think my mom and dad cared because I don't think they really wanted to do it anyway. But I've told them multiple times, no, they're not trick-or-treating in Bonne Terre this year. No, they're not doing that. Well, it backfired on me because she loves Halloween. The scarier, the better, whatever.
We love you, Sid, but if you look at Sydney, she could be the poster child for Halloween.
Oh, yeah, she loves Halloween.
Like dark and is black her favorite color?
I think so now, especially. She's always been my little emo freak. It's like,
man.
She would... she could put makeup, like she did zombie makeup for the school thing at Bismarck. It literally looked like somebody eating someone's face. So it completely backfired on me that she loves Halloween now. And she'd asked me Friday, she has to work. So she was like, I said, can I have Winry because I'll take her. She goes, Mom, you don't even trick or treat. I said, well, I will tell you this much. If her other grandparents want to take her trick or treating, go for it because I do not. I lied to you kids all along about Halloween anyway. So I'm good not going.
Halloween's for the devil. That's not part of our religion.
Well, and I can remember, and I know you can't, but some of the people possibly listening, like we had the one year I was Gene Simmons, and it was one of those fucking plastic masks that you would put on. You couldn't breathe in it anyway. I mean, it's a wonder you didn't. I can only imagine what our levels were in our blood for not only the lead, but the carbon monoxide or whatever, whatever. But I mean, it was stuff like that it's just weird memories I have of that it just was not fun. Halloween was not fun to me at all.
Well, see, I'm fat, and I was fat as a kid. So walking up and down the street for hours trying to eat candy, it's like, can you just go take me to Walmart and buy me candy? It's easier that way.
Like that whole concept of going and knocking on someone's door and be like, trick or treat, what the fuck? Just take me to the gas station and buy me a Snickers bar. I don't need to put on this stupid shit. And I kid you not, I was a witch for like 10 years straight. And as a teacher, 2 parties I hated: Halloween, because they'd all bring those fucking costumes and they'd lose this, they'd lose that. Don't bring a knife because you can't have that. That's too gory, whatever. And Valentine's Day. I hated those 2 parties. But when I was a kid for Halloween, we would parade the streets of Bonne Terre. We'd all get dressed up. They'd take our elementary classes and we'd walk. And the old elementary is there by Bowyer's Funeral Home, right in the woods where Sam the miner is. Yeah. That's not really the miner's name. We coined that name. The Bartons did somehow. I don't know, but it's Sam's the miner there. And we would walk, and of course the IGA store was open or whatever, and that was like, because Bismarck does the same thing, which I thought that was so cool that Bismarck did a Halloween parade. Yeah. And so, but in Bonne Terre, we used to do the same thing. But I hated that because I hated the scary part of it, and I was either a ghost or a witch. That's what I always was.
It's funny these days, like, I don't understand how kids these days can have any fun, like, trick-or-treating, because, like, you can't go to just everybody's door, like...
No.
Even, like, I was born in 2000, so mid-2005, 2006, I'm trick-or-treating. I'm 5 and 6. You could go door to door, and you could, even still then, you could go door to door, you could go... Don't get me wrong, there were some precautions. I always heard razor blades and popcorn balls.
Yes.
Is that like, did you ever hear about that? Like, is that a thing, or did my parents just lie to me?
Well, no, that used to be the big thing. And then it got to the point where, the gummies that were THC gummies, now that's like the thing, which, as a parent, I'd be like, slip those. I would want that for me. I would, but, now... And that's what we always heard. Did it ever happen? I've never read an article where a kid died from swallowing a razor blade. Popcorn ball.
Popcorn balls come in pre-packaged things. So as long as there's not a cut in there, how the hell did they get that razor blade in there?
I'm going to tell you, I had my Aunt Ruby, which was Earl, the guy that did the mine tours. His wife made the best popcorn balls. Even as an adult, I made sure I did take the kids there. And when the kids did trick or treat, we took them to certain places.
That's how my parents were.
Yeah, and my dad was part of the Rotary Club in Bonne Terre, and they used to do a big Halloween costume contest, and they would do hot dogs and soda and stuff like that. And that was always fun because that's when it was still a good community of people came. I know at one time they used to do it up in the parking lot. It used to be Don Hawk's parking lot up there where now the Dollar General is.
Oh, yeah.
But they would have a big old trailer, and they had different age groups and stuff like that. And that was always fun because I didn't have to dress up. I could just go and watch that. But Brett and Sydney and then my brother, we would take the 5 kids and sister-in-law, we would trick-or-treat with them. And that was the one year that that one day out of the year that Brett in particular, I would let him just strip off his costume, sit in the middle of mom and dad's floor, and he literally would just dump out his bag, and I just let him eat candy. If he had the chili and chili dogs that dad had made, fine. If he didn't, I really didn't give a shit. And it never failed. Brett would literally puke his guts. Like, I'm talking whole Tootsie Rolls.
Oh, my God.
It would puke. I can remember one time in particular, I had to borrow clothes from mom because he had puked all over me. But that was his one time out of the year that he got to eat every piece of candy. I did not give a crap.
Did you check all the candy? That was a big thing. That was another big thing when I was a kid. Like, oh, let me check your candy. And it's like,
you know why they were checking your candy?
Oh, I know why. I'm not. Look, I might be 5 and I might be illiterate and dumb and a little special. I have 2 eyes and I know where my candy goes. Where did all my Reese's go?
Exactly. So that's, and the Tootsie Rolls for me. But
let me check you. Let me check your candy.
Yeah.
Go get your own.
Yeah. So I mean, those were, and like my mom and dad, they always liked going to, the kids in Bonne Terre liked going to my mom and dad's house on Long Street because dad gave sodas.
Oh.
And, you know, and back when I was a kid, and even as a 20s, 30s adult, soda was not really a big thing that kids got.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even my 2 kids, they weren't real big on soda either.
Yeah.
But that was cool to go to the Barton house and get a can of soda.
It's like getting
and
a
then
beer.
dad also, they would do unfrozen popsicles too. That was another thing that they would give out.
Reminds me of Herbert off of Family Guy. You ever watch that?
Yeah.
On a popsicle? Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, I didn't know that about Brett. Next time I see him, I'll be like, hey, what'd you do on Halloween, Brett? Did your mom let you eat all you can? Wait, you live on your own now. That's just weird.
Well, he was always a fireman. That's how, because he couldn't say his F, so he was a fireman in his fire boots. So that's his poor kid. That's what he always was.
Poor Brett's going to sue my podcast one of these days.
And you know what? I can't. What's bad is I know Sydney was a witch. Her very first costume, she was a bumblebee as a baby because she was born in March, so October.
Is that back before she realized what the color black was?
I think she was emo the second she was born. But they were, like, I can't honestly remember their costumes because I didn't really participate in it with them. And the year of, September 11th with...
Oh, 01?
Yeah. I actually put a note on my door that said, we're not trick-or-treating this year. I told the kids, I said, and I'm not mocking this by no means, but I was like, with the tragedy that happened in our country, we're not trick-or-treating this year. So it was like, whew, I had a built-in excuse on why.
Wow.
So, I mean, I, as a parent, as a trick-or-treat parent, I was a bad parent. I really was.
That's funny. It's funny.
I know.
What do you do? Oh, man.
But I seriously cannot remember their costumes because she was Bear in the Big Blue House.
I forgot about that show. You want to talk about if I was a stoner, that's probably something I would watch if I was stoned.
Yes. And I mean, Brett was always, like I said, a fireman. I don't know really any other costumes. Because
and now he's a real fireman. Shout out to you, Brett. You're a real fireman now.
Yeah, with your fire boots.
And a mustache.
Yeah. So, I mean, I kind of feel bad that my kids...
now that you bring all this up, I'm going to have to call my mom later and be like, hey, so let's get to talking here. What all tragedies did you use to...
Right. And I mean, I always told my kids, this can be noted with your therapist. So here you go.
I will give my mom that. I do remember going trick-or-treating, but it wasn't my parents were divorced. Uh-huh. So my mom, we would always, my aunt, my cousins would come over, and my mom would just go to Walmart and buy those big bags of candy.
Yeah.
And we would just sit at home. And I'd much rather do that because I'm fat and don't like to walk
Amen
although
to that.
I probably should. And we would do that. But my dad was always the one that, we got to go out. You got to dress up. And it's like, look, I don't want to put on this plastic polyurethane, shitty costume that I look like I'm going to bust out of, like a busted can of biscuits. And I remember one year I was like a dirt bike rider, so I had to wear the helmet everywhere. Yeah. Well, my head's huge, so I had to have the biggest one they made. And I'm like leaning left and right because I can't keep my head up. My neck's about to give out. Speaking of no neck, I know some people that don't have one, but
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Anywho, I was a wolf one year, but the one I do remember, and I will never forget this. We went to Potosi City Park because Potosi City Park they done all the booths, and you could walk around each booth and it was like a mile long line. I mean, it was huge. Matter of fact, I think we'll talk about that later. It's in our notes, but I was a zombie or something. So like my chest is like this hard plastic, looked like my guts had been ripped out. It's like fur, that feathery, nasty stuff you don't want to touch. And my stomach killed me. I don't know if it was anxiety or what it was, but like I had the worst stomach pains of my life. And I kept telling my Mom, my stomach hurts. I don't want to walk this anymore. Mom, my stomach hurts. Well, too bad. Your brothers want to do it anyways. But that is like the worst Halloween memory I have, because I felt like I was going to shit down the place. Because it was terrible. Like my stomach, it felt like someone was taking a hot rod and just shoving it right in my stomach. And I'm in this itchy, hot costume. It had a mask, and of course I didn't want to wear that because I couldn't breathe anyways.
Well, and I think maybe that's what, because it has updated with the costumes now.
Oh yeah, now the kids are doing that. I'm surprised we haven't seen kids walking around in big number 6, 7 costumes.
Yes.
Or Blippy or whatever.
Well, and I mean, like I said, I was Gene Simmons, which was one of those old plastic face masks, and they had Popeye. And I mean, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it, because you will see what I'm talking about.
Now I'm curious.
It was a nightmare to be these things. So, it wasn't fun. And then I had sensitive skin, so if they drew this shit on my face, I'd be broken out for a week and my eyes swollen shut. So of course I was not, that's not even, do like 1985 Gene Simmons costume.
I'm looking up costumes if you're wondering what I'm doing.
Because it was horrid, these plastic costumes.
Something like that?
It was more, it had like, so it covered your face, but it had like this elastic band, and you just put it on. I know that on Facebook there's like a meme thing that says, you were born and lived the 80s because of this is what your Halloween costumes, at the school parties look like. And so, I mean, it was horrible.
We'll have to do some more research and post it on our Facebook page.
I know people in my age group know exactly what I'm talking about.
You want to hear something funny? You've said Gene Simmons this entire time, but for some reason my brain kept thinking Richardson. So I'm thinking Lockie's dressed up as Richard Simmons in a sweatsuit, and it's Gene Simmons from Kids. My brain's all over the place today.
But so I mean, I have childhood trauma that can be taken back to Halloween.
I tell you what, some of the things you learn about people I know more about Lockie now than I think I ever have. We got one more stop on our deal here, and we're going to go up north to Jefferson County, which is actually where I work. And I've been down this road, and there is like it's St. Joseph Hills Road.
I've never even heard of this place.
Maybe we'll take a road. Me, you, Maria will take a road ride one day, and we'll go take
in the daylight, right?
In the daylight. We're not going in the dark. Funny, though, because I'm pretty sure the snow list at work for our snow routes haven't come out yet, but I'm almost certain I'm getting moved sheds this year, and I'm pretty sure this road's on my route.
And I do know some of the MoDOT guys have talked about passing some of the, or just random little houses that are quote-unquote haunted, and weird shit. Windshield wipers flying off the truck.
I've had that happen.
So
I tell you what, because I work night shift when I plow snow, because I work for the Jefferson County Highway Department, and when you're driving down especially a dead end county road, which this road's a dead end, and at the very dead end is where this hospital is, there's actually people who live in apartments behind it.
So about where is this?
So this is where Cedar Hill is.
Kind of.
So if you go out 30, like if you go up to Fenton and hit Highway 30 and take it all the way down,
Okay.
or if you go out B Highway, if you go through Hillsborough, it takes you out that way. It's out that way towards a little, it's almost closer to the Franklin County side of Jefferson County. But the old St. Joseph Hills Hospital, I went out there one day, we were doing some work on that road, and I didn't know it was back there. Well, there's two creepy things on this road. There's the old mental hospital, and there's like this weird Buddhist like ritual park. It's Black, what is it called? Like Black Angus or Black Diamond? Not Black Angus, it's beef.
And you can tell we're fat just for thinking food. It's getting to be lunchtime.
We're going to Sam's later. I'm all excited. It's Black Diamond or Black. Here, let's see.
That kind of sounds like a strip club. Are you sure that we're all on the same page here?
Let's see here. Let's Black something or the other. St. Joseph Hills Road. Let's see if I can find it. I just drove past it the other day. I can't spell today.
Well, and a lot of these places are hospitals, or definitely there have been psych patients.
Black Madonna Shrine. Here we go.
Okay.
There's pictures of it. And it's literally I don't know exactly what it is, but let's see here. Here we go. Right here. The Black Madonna Shrine. It's a big shrine park is what it is.
Okay.
And it's weird. Like there's diamonds and Buddhist, and I walked through there one day and I'm like, man, this is weird.
Well, and you get those vibes.
Yeah, because you know, like back way when, like we're talking centuries ago, they done like weird, they'd sacrifice people and different religions done different things. Like you get into some of this stuff and you're like, wow, no thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a Christian. Yeah, well, back in the blood, well, whatever, your people did this. But yeah, so this road's really creepy. Anywho, this hospital actually closed in 2008.
Oh, so and that's really not that long ago.
No.
I mean, it is, but it isn't.
We're 18 years ago.
Okay.
So 2020, yeah, so 18 years ago, this place was still open. And they say it was a former long care facility, but I'm pretty sure that's a nicer way of saying mental institution.
Well, and not to, and this just came into my head. If you think about these being the psychiatric care facilities and whatever, the way we would treat psych problems before was very inhumane.
Oh, for sure.
And so no wonder, I mean, because you're going to talk about the things that people hear or see. No wonder if that was going on, they're going to hear.
Oh, they treated them like animals.
Yes.
It was terrible. They'd lock them in a room and wouldn't feed them, and
the shock stuff they would do to their
shock
brains
therapy
and different things, the lobotomies and stuff like that.
It's funny you say that. That movie I was talking about earlier, there's actually a shock therapy room in that movie, and the people, like the inbred people, take one of the tourists that like stay in there and they put him in a shock chair.
I think I do want to watch that.
It's something wild, man. You got to have a strong stomach. It's pretty gross.
Yeah.
Anywho, but like you said, it was very inhumane. I'm very thankful for what we have now, because people with disabilities and that's really, I mean, it's all it is. People with disabilities, and they just treated them as so inhumane.
Well, and probably during this time too, unfortunately, the parents, that was a very common thing to send a child with disabilities. And I'm talking now, what we would consider a disability, that a person, they don't do that. But back then, that was a common thing to put your child into a facility like this.
Yeah, and that's exactly what this place was. They say a long-term care facility, from what I've looked up, is a nicer way today of saying psych ward back way when. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I looked up. Anywho, so if you drive back this road, it's probably 2-3 miles long, and like I said, it's at the very dead end, and you come up this road, and I'll show you pictures. I'll show you pictures of it here in a little bit. But you pull up this road, and the road runs to the left side of it, and this hospital just kind of sits over here to the right. And I mean, it's got like this big corner window. Like, you remember those old big Victorian houses? They've got the window with the metal tin over the window. It's got 2 or 3 of those in the corner. There's windows busted out, and there's like a little iron fence, like you said in Bonne Terre, along the yard. And there's like an old wood shed out back, and it's like, man, this is just creepy looking. Windows are busted. We came through there. I worked night shift one night, plowing snow, and I had to go down that road to run. I was helping a guy out, and there was a light on in it, but it's been closed since 2008, and there's no electric to this building. The only electric to it is to the people that like live behind it in the little apartments.
Ooh, that's creepy.
And I can't make this up.
Right.
I may have been 6 Red Bulls in, and it may have been 3 o'clock on sites and stuff. And I do research for months at a time, and because I'm interested in it and see what I can find out. But flickering lights was one of them that I did research.
With no electricity.
How does that work?
Yeah.
Faint crying, which, again, back in those days, these people aren't right in the head. They don't know what's going on. I mean, I'd probably cry. Hell, I'd probably cry just now, and I'm somewhat normal. Somewhat. Keyword, somewhat. But whispers from the upper floors, because it's like St. Joe Manor. It's got 2 or 3 stories in it.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's a mixture of St. Joe and Iron County Hospital.
Ooh, I bet that is creepy. And plowing down there at night, knowing you have to turn around.
I know guys that sit back there, like if we run roads or whatever and take a break, they'll go back there and sit. I'm like, no, I'm good. We'll pass.
Nope.
But if you're from Jefferson County listening to this, go check that out. It's really neat. I think you, Marie, and I will take a road ride one of these days, and we'll...
Like I said, during the day.
In the daylight. But that was another neat place that I didn't know about until I came to work at the county, that it even existed. It's one of those literally back in the woods type of deals, and it makes sense that it was a psychiatric facility because that's...
Well, and unfortunately, and I'm air quoting those kinds of people, they did put those places back where it was inconvenient for people to come.
Yeah, so people wouldn't bother them.
Or what, exactly. And I mean, they would keep them just, out of their minds with medications and treatments and things like that.
Could you imagine being strapped to a chair and just having these shocker things stuck to your head?
No.
I'd get a headache just thinking about it.
Yeah.
I lied. We have one more to talk about. I forgot was on the next page.
Well, and then because before we started this, we were talking about that place in Park Hills, which would have been Flat River.
Yes.
Did you ever remember what it? And
I can't remember what.
So this was circa 1992, 91-ish, but that there is a cemetery somewhere near off of, is that, what highway is that?
That's Highway Z.
Z.
Z off of 8.
Yeah. And somewhere back in there, and I can remember them saying that that's where the devil worshippers went and all kinds of stuff. You could go out there and it was a scary place and whatever. That's when I was in high school. I remember going out there one time, but we didn't go because there was actually somebody else out there and they basically ran us off. But that was like the thing when I was in high school to go and be scared at.
That's crazy. A big place when I was a kid that they always told me was haunted and don't ever go out there at night. And Blackwell out there past Cadet, not too far away from here.
Yes.
Blackwell, the old Indian burial graveyard. There's an old bridge, an old train bridge that you can drive on. Actually, I think they tore it out and built a new one now. But people used to say they'd go out there and stand on the bridge and they'd say this and say that.
I do remember that now.
Yeah.
I didn't when you were talking about it before.
I think it was like, come get me, come get me, come get me. And a train would come down, like a sight of what looked like a train would come at them.
Yes.
And then it would just disappear. Like some of this stuff, like, come on.
Right.
But I mean, it could happen. You never know.
But kind of like your teacher that you talked about, there are good storytellers.
Oh, he was a great storyteller.
And I mean, I know that's how my dad, my grandma, my Uncle Leroy were. They could tell stories. They could make you believe that Rawhead Bloody Bones was right up underneath this window waiting for me to walk out.
Oh, that's now I got goosebumps. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
So, but that was.
I tell you one more thing I'll talk about before we get to this next stop, and then we get on with the podcast because we've wondered a lot today.
It's been fun though.
It has been fun. I've enjoyed it. Native American traditions. You want to talk about some scary stuff?
Yes.
Look up some of and this again, this is no offense to anybody that's Native American, but some of their history is very raw.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Well, and that's why there are certain things I just don't think you should mess with.
No.
I don't think you should, do certain things, and that's like a Ouija board. I
never played with one. Don't complain.
I've been exposed to one, but at the time I really didn't understand it because I was young. And so it was kind of, middle school, high school, everybody was, whatever, but you don't mess with those kinds of things. Ooh. And a lot of that, the Native American, you just don't, to me, you don't mess with nature in that sense. And that the spirits and
Yeah,
you just don't do that.
No, especially like the Indian burial ground out there in Blackwell.
Yes.
No, thank you. I will pass. Let them people rest. Let them do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
One more thing I will get to before I forget. My stepdad lived in Caledonia on the main strip. There's an old bluish gray house. It's towards the end of town. As soon as you pass the candy shop and stuff, it sits to the left. There's a little white picket fence in front of it.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm talking about. So that house, fun fact, it was at one point in time, it was a doctor's office back in the circa when that was a thing. It was a funeral home.
Mm-hmm.
It was a plantation house. And then it got remodeled and was eventually a family home. And my stepdad lived there. Well, he and his brother lived upstairs in like the attic area.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had a pool table up there when they were kids, and they were doing something, and they bumped into one of the walls. This might just be a made-up story, but this is just what he's told me. They were up there playing pool, and they heard like chains rattling, and they're like, "What the hell is that?" So they get to doing some digging, and there's a door inside their closet, and they went inside this door, and up in the like little space that was up there, there was chains and stuff mounted to the wall, like with wrist cuffs and stuff on it. And it was a plantation house. And apparently, from what legend has, it's where they locked slaves up during the plantation times. That was where they chained them up at night. And he said after that, they would hear the chains rattle, and they would hear, there was like feet cuffs on the floor, and they would hear those rattle. And there was actually tools and stuff up there in that, like old sickles and stuff. So
how old were they at the time that
they were probably teenagers. I'd have to ask him,
because I know that's one of the things that a lot of people say, that animals sense those kinds of things in children. Because I had imaginary friends, and I say it was plural. I had more than one. In fact, their names were Pinga and Ponga. I don't know where that came from, but that to me is, that was my imagination. I couldn't tell you what they looked like or anything like that. But they always say that children, there are creepy things that...
They say kids can see dead people.
Well, my great niece, Penny, has told her mom, and I've asked her questions about it too. She swears that my mom has been in her bedroom sitting on the bed talking to her. And... first of all, Janet needs to stay on her side, that under the dirt.
Damn you, Janet.
Yes. And it freaks me out because she knows things that she never met my mother, ever. And she has told us things about Mama. And it's creepy.
I'm sitting here right now with goosebumps. Wow.
Well, and it's really weird because, that's what they say that kids do. And I've seen things where a kid says, yeah, there's a little boy sitting in my room that we play together.
I got a friend of mine. He went to Bismarck and lived in Bismarck, and he said there used to be an old lady in the house that he lived in would sit at the end of his bed every night and would talk to him, and they were friends, and she was nice to him until his parents came around, and then she was mean to him.
Yeah.
You want to think about something that's really creepy? There could be somebody I don't know anything about the house I currently live in.
Yeah.
There could be somebody sitting right here with us. I could
right.
You just don't know. It's weird. Right. That's some neat stuff.
It is neat. So.
We're gonna get haunted later from talking about all this.
Hopefully, it's good spirits though.
I
need all the good spirits.
Same here, sister. We got one more stop, and this is actually up towards where my in-laws live. I drove past it this last weekend before, something like that. The Diamond Diner Tri-County Truck Stop up in Villa Ridge. I know you've probably seen a picture of it here. Let me pull one up. It's actually a pretty neat place. They actually, I think, have used it for like postcards and stuff. It's one of the old neat diners you see, like one of the 1950s deals.
Which always appear in some type of creepy movie, whether it's a killer movie or...
a happy one?
Yeah.
Let's see, Villa Ridge. Sorry, I'm currently looking this up so I can show Lockie if that's what you all are wondering what I'm doing. There we go, right here.
Oh, that is neat.
Yeah. Yep, so I've driven past this several times.
So that's close to Eureka?
Yeah, it's Villa Ridge is out past Eureka, out past 44, and that's where my in-laws live. And my mother-in-law has told me stories, and Maria's told me stories about this place. A lot of truckers used to stop in there and eat, and it's right off 44.
Well, and that makes me think of like different movies and I want to say it was Pee-wee's Big Adventure about the truck driver. I think it was that one, and the creepiness, but
Something like
Truck
that.
drivers always have creepy stories.
Joyride. Those are also weird. Maybe you ever watch those? Look them up.
Okay.
Weird. But this is the Tri-County truck stop. You can look it up on Google. But here's like a real old picture of it back in the 1950s. And I'd have to ask Maria again what all has gone on in this place.
Well, and so you have here, you said it was built in the 20s.
Yeah.
Which Route 66, my gosh, the travel was huge through there.
For sure.
But you have down here moving dishes, flying coffee pots, and a man in the red flannel shirt seen after hours. And you know.
That matches the trucker deal.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, and it's kind of a theme of all these places. There are not always happy events that have happened in these places, or just sadness in general. You know, you've got a man traveling, he's away from his family, whatever. Yeah. So
you got to think back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, there weren't cell phones. You couldn't call home. So if something went wrong, these are the kind of places you had to rely on to get you help, and you hope and pray you can make it. And 44 is a terrible highway anyways.
Yes.
Even today, even with a cell phone. I mean, it's terrible. And there's a lot of spots on 44 between Rolla, Cuba, and all that are just fields.
Well, and I would like to know then about this place. What is the story behind it? Why do they think it is haunted?
I don't know, and I would have to ask. But so it's actually in the process of being torn down. The tornadoes we had in March destroyed it enough to where they're actually tearing it down. I think there was a picture on here. So here's what it currently looks like.
Oh, gosh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
and I mean, it really is because of
I mean, this is what the tornado did to it, but I mean, it just destroyed it. But yeah, they're in the...
I think I've actually heard them talk about this on The Point because Jeff Burton was from Eureka.
Yeah, so you probably have heard him talk about it. But yeah, but it's got the old creepy round window looking deal in it. And it's just creepy looking. We drove past it at night one time and I'm like, man, that's weird.
Well, and it's funny because all of these are, and I think it is just because of what we watch and what our brain is triggered to know and whatever, but all of these are that spooky.
Yeah.
Every scary movie has that diner in it or that mental institution or, that mansion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all...
It's weird.
Yeah.
And it's weird because it's all right here. Like this, we haven't left the state of Missouri. We haven't left the next 4 surrounding counties.
Yeah.
That's the weird part.
Yeah.
We visited Franklin County, Jefferson County, Washington County, St. Francis County, and Iron County.
Yeah.
Places that we travel I travel all the time.
Me too.
I'll hit 3 different counties all in one day. But it's neat because Missouri is as much as I hate the weather in this state, it's very historical.
It is very historical.
Downtown Caledonia, you've got Iron County, you've got just so many different neat places.
And just neat things that have happened.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it is not only, it's a beautiful area too. That's one of the things.
This time of year it really is.
I mean, I don't think people realize just how beautiful our area is.
Yeah.
They don't.
It's neat. It's somewhere you don't see every day.
Right.
I mean, I've visited different places, but Missouri is just a very unique, hilly, pretty, even in the summertime. I mean, it's beautiful in the state when it's not raining or snowing or sleeting or 800 degrees or negative 14, which we're getting ready to come up on. But I encourage if you're not from Missouri, come visit it. I would love to see you guys come and check out some of the neat things in this area.
Yes.
Really neat, really historical, really scary sometimes at dark, apparently.
Well, and sometimes it doesn't even have to be near Halloween for it to be scary at dark.
Drive through Iron County at 12 o'clock on a Tuesday. You understand, or Bismarck, or Potosi, or any other town around here. How about some jokes? You want to do some jokes?
Why not?
We haven't done jokes on here just yet. How about I read one, then you'll read one, huh?
Okay. So,
what's a ghost's favorite room in the house?
I don't know. What is a ghost's favorite room in the house?
The living room. Oh, you got any?
Oh, I do. Why don't skeletons ever go trick-or-treating?
Why is that?
Well, it's not because they're broke. It's because they don't have the guts.
Some of these are the dumbest jokes ever. Here's one. What kind of music do mummies love?
I love this, and this is such a little kid joke. What
Rap
kind of
music?
This makes me think of those little books whenever, like, I taught school, but then when I was a kid too, that you would have these jokes and like it was scary stories to tell in the dark or whatever. Do you remember those?
Goosebumps?
Well, no, they were little short stories.
Oh, yeah. I do know what you're talking about.
Sydney would read those multiple times, but I can remember you used to be able to buy these little joke books of Halloween.
Or Laffy Taffy. You can read these on the back of Laffy Taffy too.
So, what do ghosts order at diners?
Do I want to know?
It's a boo burger and fried fries. You can't even say it. That was not a fair one.
That was a tongue twister.
That was a tongue twister.
Let's see if we can read today, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, we've talked about scary stuff. We've had a couple good laughs. How about we talk about what's going to be going on in the area during Halloween?
Absolutely. And I think, too, we'll take just a second not to sound like I did whenever I was trying to take my kids trick-or-treating. But if you are out trick-or-treating, you need to be careful.
Be careful.
Try to wear high visibility
for
something, and just be cautious. And I hope this is okay to say, but I do know now you can Google your locations to check the sex offender registry.
Missouri State Highway Patrol website. You can get on their website and check it out, and they list every address. And I think they have one of the little red dot maps, and you can click on the red dots and tells you what registered sex offenders live there and where they live and all that.
And of course, I encourage you to do that. I know we're going to talk about several trunk or treats, which I think that seems to be the way that people are going these days. And so just be careful. You teenage kids, if you're going to be out and about, be smart, have fun. That's one thing I wanted to talk about too. We used to TP the shit out of people's houses back when, you could buy a roll of toilet paper for like 10 cents.
Before COVID?
Yeah. And, and that was always a fun thing because even like the kids, when my mom was a teacher, there's a story that she's like way into an adult, like 60-year-old adult. And she told the story about TPing at our house and hiding underneath my mom's car because my dad came out to smoke a cigarette. But Dad, I can remember we'd get TP'd. And you did this stuff because people liked you. It wasn't that.
Oh, yeah.
There were some people because I was a master TP'er. Or eggs. I never did throw eggs. I did not do that.
I did that once.
Okay. Well, TPing. Dad would be out smoking and he'd light the
toilet paper.
And it would just burn up the trees. I can remember that. But I honestly don't think kids do that anymore.
Well, no, but you can't.
We used to soap cars. Did you ever do that?
I never did that. I heard that destroyed the hell out of some paint.
Well, but I only did the windows.
Oh, okay.
You'd soap the windows.
I know kids that pull pictures like a big penis on the hood of something.
That would be Brett, my son, who is so pure, wink, wink. There's a couple of stories about him drawing wieners that I'm ashamed of, and I'm not even going to tell it on the air. But he would draw a wiener. I can go out in the hood of my Jeep and there'll be a wiener drawn in the dust. It's like, no, don't. You're going to scratch my paint. But yeah, we used to soap windows, TP. Like I said, I never did egg.
I love TPing.
Oh my God, it was.
Maybe we need to do a Midwest Mayhem TP and find some people that we love.
Well, I've got a short list.
I do too. And these are all people we love and we talk to every day.
Yeah,
and that's who we're going to do it to, just so you all are aware.
In fact, I've not seen any houses TP'd
I haven't either.
At all.
I haven't seen it in the last couple of years.
There have been a few and far between because there is a lady that I went to school with. She teaches at Bismarck, and we used to always, the kids would come and TP her because she's a popular teacher. And we would joke about she'd take a picture of it, and we would go back and forth and say, yeah, these kids definitely need a lesson on how to TP. Because, I couldn't play any sports because I was fat and I'm just not talented in that way. But I'm telling you what, I could throw a fucking roll of toilet paper like nobody's business.
Same here. You see 2 or 3 strings, oh man, we got them. No. We're talking like the Angel Soft 24 pack. If you buy 6 or 7 of those, and by the time you're done, that's when you called it a night.
Yes.
You didn't call it a night after you threw one strand and ran off like a little girl. You waited until they you seen a light come on, and you always do it late at night. You see a light come on, you hear motherfucker, something like that. The damn kids are at it again. Those were always my favorite.
Yep.
But go out and have some fun. Don't do anything illegal. But that's, unfortunately, I think TPing these days you probably get arrested for.
Well, and I just don't think that kids do that. Well, and once again, for a 6-pack of toilet paper, it's like $500. So it's,
that too.
You don't even want to waste that.
Yeah.
So, but it was a good time. It used to be. And that's what I think is, I don't remember my mom and dad saying, oh, not that they took us that many times, but let's check out the sex offender registry. We didn't have to do that.
No, and that these days you have to.
You do have to do that.
It's no joke.
And you have to be cautious of kids Halloween. You really do now because there are others. And unfortunately, there are just mean people in our world.
Yeah.
And it's a great opportunity for, and I don't know if Bonne Terre still does the big trick or treat up and down Main Street and Church Street.
Don't know.
Because so many places are doing the trunk or treats. So.
Yeah, trunk or treats became like a big thing in like 2010.
Is that when it was?
I was just old enough not to go, but I was old enough to be like, oh, I can walk around these cars.
So do you remember what caused that? Because I don't recall.
It was the big sex offender deal. It was everybody was trying to get away from going door to door because there's some parents that dress their kid up and say, oh, hey, go ahead and go trick or treat while I get high or whatever.
Well, back in, that's what was funny, you know. I'm going to say me as a parent, not my mom and dad, but definitely probably me and maybe mom and dad later. You did take a group of people, and mom had her Virginia Slim Ultra Light.
The ones that were 400 miles long?
Listen, you kids go on ahead. Don't go get too far ahead, but go on up ahead. Take your brother with you.
That's the thing.
And I can remember as a kid at my 21st birthday, I did have to work the next day, but I went to the bar in Bonne Terre by myself because I knew there were going to be people there that I knew. I didn't have anything to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
And it used to be that, hey, mom, dad, we're meeting a bunch of kids. We're going to go trick-or-treating. It was safe to do that. It's not that way anymore.
No. So watch your kids. Don't walk with them. Keep an eye on them. GPS tag them if you have to.
Right.
But, it doesn't take but 3 seconds to pull a kid inside a door, shut the door, and they're never heard from again. It isn't. But, again, check on your kids. If you're going out to a Halloween party, this goes for adults, teenagers, everybody else. Don't drink and drive.
Please don't.
We don't want to scrape you up off the road.
Nope.
I won't have to, but you get what I mean.
Which I think most of the adult Halloween stuff, I know Friday night will be.
Oh, for sure.
Well, and we were at Spirit Halloween a couple weeks ago with Winry, and she was toddling around, and I did everything to scare the piss out of her. And a couple of times I was real successful, but she got back to I called it the slut costume area, and I said,
boy.
And there were, college age girls back there trying to find their sexy nurse costume and whatever. I said, come on, Winry, we're not looking at the slut costumes. And they just kind of were like, oh my God, that old lady. But been there and done that. I've been
You want to hear what I was going to go forward to a Halloween party I was supposed to go to this weekend? Doug Heffernan off Kings and Queens. Kevin James.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's the delivery man. Yeah. Maria was going to go as Carrie.
Yeah, that would be. Well, The Point had their ride or die this weekend.
Yeah.
And Riz went, he and his wife did Margot and whatever from.
Shout out to Lockie. She was featured on 105.7 The Point's Facebook page. I meant to say that earlier and I forgot. We're basically famous now.
Oh, definitely. Well, and
did you give him a sticker? You should have gave him a sticker.
Oh, I didn't even, and I had him in the Jeep.
This is shame on you, Lockie.
Well, I'll be going to another event because I am a Riz team member 2020.
Riz team member 766 to be exact?
Yes, and it's interesting because Moon was the one that was out yesterday at the event.
9 Mile Garden. Yes. I heard him saying that they had the big board out there.
Yep.
I heard him talking about
and
that.
And I got to sign the board. I've always wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And I finally was able to get out there and do it. But he and I have a weird connection. His wife's roommate was one of my kids from daycare.
Oh, wow.
And so and it was so neat because he and I sat and talked for probably 25, 30 minutes yesterday. And I asked him if he and King Scott were actually cousins because Moon's adopted.
Yeah.
And they have a cousin that's tied, a cousin of a cousin. And the cousin had passed away and they kind of connected at the funeral and now we know their story. And
maybe one of these days we'll be on the Rizzuto show.
Oh, well,
that's a goal.
I'm telling you, I interact with him every morning that I go to work. It's like I'm in the studio.
Oh, me too.
And that's what I told him, because Jeff Burton had passed and then the deal with Patrico was devastating to me because Patrico was annoying as fuck, but he was funny.
What happened with him again?
He was accused of some very inappropriate.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. And so the new people that are on there, it took me a while to get back to it, but it's a neat dynamic. And the other morning I was literally in tears laughing because Learn is just, which she's on KSHE too, just off the wall shit. She is so just, I don't know, but it's a pretty good dynamic. But I got to do that yesterday. So,
and Lockie, I shared it on our Facebook page. Go check it out. The very first picture on 105.7 The Point's Facebook page is Lockie and Moon right there with this big head that he had. So it was pretty neat. Maybe next time you'll slip him some stickers.
I will. And I had him in the Jeep. When he pulled up, I looked over and it was him and I was like, my God, there's parked right there in his BMW. You know, I was like, of course I was talking to myself because I was by myself, but I don't know. I was all excited. It's just it's a neat thing to do.
I think it'd be neat to go do like a cross thing with them.
That would, oh my God.
That would be neat. Maybe that's a goal.
Yeah.
Make sure you tag Midwest Mayhem in all of their posts until they call us. That probably will never happen, but that's a goal, Lockie. That's what we got going on. Anywho, back to what we were actually talking about, because we drifted off like...
We did.
Very seriously. We're bad at this.
We are, but we're
having fun, though.
It is.
We're having lots of fun. I'm getting better with the soundboard, too, by the way.
I know. I can't wait to see what little features you put in for the Halloween stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do some adding in of the music and the scary stuff. But to get back what we were talking about before, don't drink and drive, check on your kids, walk with your kids, check the sex offender websites, and don't let them go to their houses. First thing on our list for some community events coming up, if you're listening to this, it is Halloween today. So all these are happening today for Halloween. America's Car Mart in Farmington is 222 Karsh Boulevard in Farmington. They're going to have candy, hot dogs, and games. Again, that is today, the 31st, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Go check them out. What else we got going on, Locke?
We have the WIC Trunk or Treat, which is at the St. Francis County Health Department parking lot. That's at 1025 West Main Street in Park Hills. That is today, October 31st at 1 p.m.
That's a weird time to have a...
I'm sure that... I don't know if the kids have a full day of school on Friday either. And
yeah,
that
maybe not. Isn't this about the time for parent-teacher conferences?
I know some had parent-teacher conferences this week.
Okay, yeah. So anyways, 1 o'clock, St. Francis County Health Department. Get yourself some candy, maybe an STD check.
Yeah.
That is something funny. I might leave that part in there.
I think you should.
Anywho, we got the Richwoods Fire Department. Our buddy Dave Hoffman, who's the chief of Richwoods Fire.
He is.
Up in Richwoods, top of the county. They're located at 10015 Turtle Road in Richwoods. They're going to have candy and some free light sticks for the kids so they can be seen while they're walking down the road. So that's a good preventative thing, I think.
Well, and I have to just compliment Richwoods. And everybody has their little jokes about Richwoods, but their fire department, their community, I worked their fall festival, and it was so neat. And they actually have people sign up to... I'm at this house. We're handing out candy.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if you can pick that up from the fire department. So if you do trick or treat in Richwoods tonight, they do have a list of people that will have their porch lights on.
Yeah.
And you can trick or treat.
Well, that's pretty neat.
And I thought that was really neat too. And so with that fire department, I'm going to add in Bonne Terre.
Yeah, go right ahead.
I don't know what they go by now.
Big River Fire,
which is right there next to the City Hall in Bonne Terre. It used to be, that's where my junior high gymnasium was.
Have you been inside that firehouse?
I have not.
It's beautiful. It is gorgeous.
I've heard that it is.
I'm a fire nerd. Leave me alone.
Well, and so they are doing that from 6 to 9, and they also have a haunted house, but, and I love this, from 4 to 5:30 for children with sensory issues. They are having trick-or-treating for them because we don't want to leave out those kids. There are still kids that, even though they may have some sensory issues, they still like to do that. And so it's not the bright lights or anything scary or something that could potentially cause them to have a seizure or just to be fearful. The Bonne Terre, that's at, I want to say that's Allen Street.
Something like that. Look at Bonne Terre City Hall. It's literally right next door.
But again, from 6 to 9 is the haunted house and trick-or-treating. But from 4 to 5:30 is sensory trick-or-treating.
That is awesome. Shout out to you, Big River Fire. You're doing great things. Richwoods for handing out the light sticks. We're so proud of you guys for taking care of the kids and making sure they have a good time. Bismarck First Baptist Church, which is, I think this is the one right up from the firehouse, right?
Well, or going out of town.
Yeah, to your right, that one right there.
I'm pretty sure that's
what I thought. It's 1017 Spruce Street in Bismarck. They're going to have a candy trail and a chili dinner. And maybe I'll go in and get me some candy.
I'll get the chili.
I was kind of thinking chili, too. I didn't want to say that because I'm fat.
I love a good pot of chili.
Me too. We had some the other night.
Well, and I think that's actually, you go through the first stop sign, and then it's that next. It's the real pretty church that when the sun sets in Bismarck, and the cross up there is beautiful.
Yep.
And I don't know if you said the time, but that's between 5:30 and 7 p.m.
Yep, 5:30.
I don't know if they're doing trunk or treat. They used to at Bismarck,
I don't
up at the school, but I don't know if they are or not. That may be something that they are doing there. So.
Well, we got that going on. We got one more on our list. There's not a whole lot that I could find going on today during Halloween, but I just wanted to throw some of these things out there for those of you that listen. Treat Street in the Park at Potosi City Park. This is, I think it's kind of the same thing that I went to when I was a kid. You got a bunch of booths, bunch of vendors. They got a sign-up sheet on their Facebook page. Go check them out. They're going to have candy, games, food, entertainment, booth decorating, pumpkin carving, costume contest, and more. And that's happening, again, today, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the Potosi City Park, so go check them out. A really, really big event. I love it. And
I know that a lot of the teachers, like I said, this is the worst holiday party other than Valentine's Day. And it's always nice when it is on Friday because they would all eat and be tired and whatever, and then come in the next day and you're put the Snickers bar up, put that whatever up. So, if you can get out with the kids, I don't know if Sonic still does it, but they used to give out free corn dogs, and that freaking rocked. I for sure took Brett and Sydney to do that. And then Walmart used to do trick-or-treating. You could walk in through all the different sections.
Yeah.
And they would trick-or-treat. I don't know if they still do that. They used to even do a costume. They'd take their picture and stuff like that. I don't know if they still do that.
Taco Bell used to give out free cinnamon twists.
Oh, shit.
They were
I didn't
hot,
know that.
fresh and hot.
Oh,
they were good.
I love those things.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to wrap this up because we're sitting at about an hour and 35 minutes.
We were like, it won't go that long.
Yeah, here we are. I got to go to Sam's, so I better hurry up so the wife don't murder me. Wrap up in the show. That's going to do it for a Halloween special. I had so much fun talking about all this.
It was fun not to be super serious about stuff.
I think we're going to give it a name. How about backroading and boogeymen? How about that?
That's perfect, yeah.
Does that work?
Well, and this was neat for me because, like I said, this brought a lot of, actually some good childhood memory back for me, some nostalgia, and I appreciate that.
And watching Brett throw up.
Yes, full Tootsie Rolls.
Everybody, we want to thank you all for tuning in. For the very few of you that listen to us ramble and go on with all of our stuff, you guys are great. Thank you for listening. I can't thank you all enough for giving us a chance and listening to our moronic selves rumble.
And it's honestly, I encourage people if they want to call in and stuff.
Yeah,
it's definitely a safe place. I look forward to every Sunday that we're here to record.
Me too. I have so much fun. I could have the worst week.
Yep.
I had to play with my poop tank this past Friday. My aerator went out, so I had to play with that, and I got some stuff to do with it. But then I thought, I got a podcast Sunday. I really don't care. I'm going to have a good time with it.
Yeah.
So we did have a good time, kind of taking a little bit of a makeshift road trip, a made-up road trip, if you will, talking about some of these places in the local Missouri area. I had a great time with that. That was neat. Maybe one of these days we'll broadcast from one of them.
Oh, gosh. Well, it'll have to be during the day. I'm serious. I cannot do this stuff at night.
We'll see what we can get going there.
And you know what? You and Maria, don't be surprised this week if I don't call and be like, I'm going in from the Jeep to the house. We stay on the phone with me, please.
Lord.
But Brett's at work tonight and tomorrow night. And
well, don't be surprised if I don't click you into my soundboard and I'll just record you and we'll put it in a show. Again, you guys can send us your own spooky stories. I'll post them on our Facebook page. I don't mind. You can go to our website and submit one. Don't forget, you can become a fan on our website. I forgot to mention that the last couple podcasts. Go to our website, www.midwestmayhem.com or midwestmayhempodcast.com. You can become a kind of a team member, I guess you could call. I don't want to copy the point, but that's kind of neat. So go on there and do that. You can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, and Podcastle. I usually post all the links with our Facebook post, and you can go to our website, click listen, and you can hear our podcast there as well. I encourage all of you to follow us and subscribe on all of our social media. We've got Facebook and the TikTok, which we got to get better about posting on, which I'm not very good at.
Yeah, it's kind of a difficult one to...
Well, we'll get there. We'll start making short videos and boats and hoes or whatever the Step Brothers did. Speaking of which, I got to get headshots scheduled that Liz promised she'd do for us.
I can't wait.
We got to do that. We're going to have some headshots done and share with all of you. So we do have some merch for sale, or we did. Lockie and I did agree. I think we're going to go ahead and move that to probably the first of the year, to our hoodie season is still available.
Right.
But we're going to push all of our merch sales until January. For those of you who have placed an order with us, I will give you I will send you all your money back if you want, or I can keep it and I'll just place it when I place the order. I'll reach out to you here soon and get with you on that. We do have hoods and I can't talk. Hoodies and hats. And we're going to try to get that lineup in January to you. Thank you all for the support on that.
Well, and with it, also, I think to be transparent, we also wanted to save people some money. With the holidays coming up, things are tough. One last thing, and I said, I'm trying to find it here. Potosi is doing great things, folks. I cannot compliment that area enough. I'm trying to find it here. They are doing a Feed the Need in Potosi. I encourage you, if you have some extra or if you are needing extra, please contact Midwest Press, and they've sponsored us, and I only have great things to say about them. I know that there are other groups here. I'm trying to get it pulled up. Maybe we can put something on our Facebook page.
Yeah, we'll share everything.
If you need resources for food, please reach out if you need that. And once again, Fox 2 News came down to do an interview.
I did see that.
And that just shows the small community and where we live.
Yeah.
And so, and Tyler and I just felt like it was best to kind of postpone it and wait because there are a lot of us struggling.
Well, and right now, and again, not to get in politics, we try to keep politics out of our podcast here. Unfortunately, due to the government shutdown, EBT for the state of Missouri is not going to be available for November. That's how a lot of people get their Thanksgiving dinners. If you guys need anything, reach out to us. We will find you whatever we possibly can. I'm happy to help in any way I can. Message us on Facebook. Reach out on email. Our email is midwestmayhem25@gmail.com.
And we have connections in all,
for sure, all over
counties.
the place.
I mean, please, if you know somebody that is struggling to feed a family, let us know. And
you can remain anonymous. We're not going to give you a hard time, unlike some people would. But reach out to us. We'll give you all the help we can. I will be sharing. I believe I shared Midwest Press.
I think you did.
On our podcast
and I know
page.
I have on my personal page too.
We're getting that around. As I get more details, we'll get that posted as well.
Yes.
I'm going to try to update the website and get some stuff on there for it as well. So let's talk about what we got coming up next. How about that, Lockie?
Yes.
You excited about a couple episodes you got coming?
Yeah.
So next week we will be interviewing Sadie Harlan, EMT with the Washington County Ambulance District. Was in the military, correct?
Yes.
So we're going to be talking to them, and we're going to get them on here, and I'm very excited.
Well, and Sadie has a very close connection with me. We work together at Iron County, Washington County, and that is also Ashton's spouse.
Yes. And we're
going to go pretty deep. Some things, but it's also going to be a little lighthearted as well.
So it's going to be a good thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good thing. I'm so excited. That is guest number 3 on our Voices of Valor series, which is taking off. I've had more people reach out. I'm so excited. If you're a first responder around here, give us a shout, message us to let us know what's going on, and we'll get in touch with you. We're going to be wrapping up season 1 towards the end of the year. Season 2 is coming up. And then Brandon Hall from the Leadwood Fire Protection District, somebody I've myself and you along. We've served alongside for many, many years. Brandon, I don't even know how to describe him. He is
one of a kind.
He is very one of a kind. He is a wacky man. Loves cats, loves vehicles, and
he loves his mama.
Loves his mama very, very much so. And I think we're going to dedicate that his episode to his mother.
We absolutely should.
So I'm going to reach out to Brandon, get some stuff from him. I'm excited to sit and talk with him. I think it'll be a fun episode to get some laughs in, and probably a few cries, I'm sure. But we're going to have Brandon on here. And then we've got Adam from Checkpoint Coffee and Canteen right there in Potosi, who's also one of our sponsors, where he's going to come on and he was a police officer, was also in the military. He's going to be our 5th or 6th guest on the Voices of Valor series. And we got some other stuff coming up, and we'll be posting our November schedule on the website in the next week or so. So keep your eyes glued to that. This has been the Midwest Mayhem, the very first Halloween episode and our 10th episode.
Yes.
The Halloween special. So thank you all for listening. Thank you all for tuning in and listening to Lockie and I ramble and have a good time. And I think we're gonna go to Sam's Club. What are you gonna do today, Locke?
I am going to go to Walmart and put some new windshield wipers on my Jeep. So.
Yeah. I think I'm going to start shopping for my costume next year. I think I'm going to get me some high-vis titty tassels.
Yes.
With some spinners. Just kidding. I'm not going to do that, but that's a joke. That's a
good
between
joke
Lockie and I.
yes.
Other than that, thank you all for listening again. I'm your host, Tyler. This is my co-host,
Lockie.
and we are out. Thank you all so much. Have a great day, and have a safe Halloween. Until we catch you next time. Bye-bye. Hey, everybody. Tyler here, Midwest Mayhem Podcast. I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you to all of our listeners for every listen, every message, and every share. You guys are fantastic. We couldn't do this podcast without all of you. Thank you for listening to us ramble on and go on about our stories. Lockie and I appreciate you guys and enjoy doing this every week. We enjoy our Voices of Valor series, and we enjoy doing it with all of our first responder friends. If you'd like to sign up, email us or check us out on Facebook. Again, thank you all so much. You all mean so much to us, and we look forward to talking with you soon.